Welcome back to another Success Secrets, and today we're answering the question, what is the real reason people sabotage their fitness goals, their fitness results? So we're going to talk all about health, fitness, and mindset, because that's the key to any goal, any result that you have. So let's open the floor. Yeah. So where do you want to start?
With the question, let's do it. So what do you think people sabotage in their fitness goals? What do you think are the, let's just say 3 main points of people sabotaging on their fitness goals?
I think the real reason people sabotage their fitness goals is their belief system. There's fears, right? I don't believe that there's some people who are just lazy, who just don't care. I think that people who start then stop, just like, I don't think they're just like not committed and they don't really want it, or they're not really clear. Like, I just don't think that's true. I think to some degree, absolutely, because they're not following through, they're not committed. Like, obviously, like, these things are presenting, but I think it's deeper than just like, oh, they don't really want it. Like, I just don't think that's fair to say. I think that that's because I've experienced that in my life too, and I pondered that question myself as to like, oh, like, why am I not doing the thing that I said I really wanted to do? Like, why am I struggling to show up? Why am I inconsistent? Like, why am I now like wanting to get takeaway when I said I was going to eat clean? Like, why am I sabotaging? So as someone who used to experience that a lot in my life, I've pondered the question. And that's why I don't believe that it's just that you're not committed enough, because like every single time in my life, and that was my experience, I really wanted to get fit. I really wanted to lose weight. I really wanted to be the healthiest version of myself. So when I pondered that question, and in hindsight, looking back now, it really is like a fear of judgment. It's a fear of success. It's a fear of outshining others. So if I'm going to go deep into these fears,
I really like that.
It's this subconscious fear, and there is a book, it's The Big Leap. The Big Leap? I think it's The Big Leap by Gary Hendricks. If it's not, I'll write it in the comments, and apologies if it's not, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And he goes into, I think it's 5 different fears that most people fall into, that's sabotaging themselves from becoming the version of themselves that they want to be. And I believe that is most people, that they're afraid, like subconsciously their mind goes, well, if I lose the weight, if I gain the muscle, if I'm the fittest, healthiest person in my family, in my relationship, in the world, then I have this fear of like making other people feel bad, or what will people say about me? And so like obviously these things are subconscious. I don't think that the people who don't show up to their commitments are literally sitting there going, what if I make other people feel bad? It's not like that, it's subconscious. But I believe that those belief systems and those fears in the subconscious lead to inconsistent action. And that is what's stopping these people from taking it to the next step, is that there is this subconscious fear of, if I do well, how do I sustain it? What will other people think of me? And what will I hurt other people in my success?
I love that.
Yeah.
I love all that. I couldn't agree more with what you've said too.
Cool,
like
yeah.
It makes complete sense.
Yeah.
And I've experienced that myself.
Yeah, absolutely. And like still to this day on like multiple levels, like, and they always say every new level has a new devil, and the sense of like you can overcome the fear about shining others, you know, in losing your first 10 kilos or your first 5 kilos or your first 1 kilo. And then all of a sudden like the fear comes up again because, you know, you've gotten like this far, but like what about this next level? You know, like it's okay to lose 5 kilos, but what if you lose 10? You know, like everyone has their thing.
Yeah,
so
you're so right. It's the fear of that success or achieving it and more.
Absolutely.
Or the fear of not actually reaching that goal as well.
Or what if I do reach it, then I have to maintain it. I had that fear a lot myself, especially when I was doing unmaintainable or unsustainable or things that I didn't like doing to achieve my fitness results, like things like hours of cardio, you know, a really big deficit. Like I didn't actually want to sustain that. So there would have been a part of my subconscious being like, fuck getting the result, because then we have to sustain that. Yes. So like that was also playing in to inconsistencies as well, like this fear of like what's going to happen when I actually do get the result. Then I have to keep doing this for the rest of my life, and this fucking sucks. So Yeah, like if I had to round it up in the smallest, like most simplest way, that I do think people really sabotage their fitness goals because there is a subconscious block around the success of having it. Whether that be you're going to outshine others and make them feel bad, whether that be people are going to judge you or bully you or call you out or like make fun of you, or whether that be, you know, how do I sustain this? Like, can I really do this? And this would be like imposter syndrome, like not thinking that you are fit enough, that you are, you know, that person. So what if people find out that I'm a fraud behind the scenes? Like all of these crazy things that you might be sitting here thinking like logically that's just whack, like as if, but deep down, and like if you are resonating with this, like that book will be really helpful. Like when you start to read into the psychology around action, behavior, and results, it really does start in the mind in really wacky ways like that.
100%.
Yeah.
I love all the points that you've pointed out with all your ideas of why people don't sustain their fitness goals.
Do you have anything else to add in what terms of why?
The only thing I'd like to add is, I think you covered most of them, but like I can't really think of any at the moment.
Yeah, well, I think in like a very like deep or like psychological way, I've like rounded up most things, because you could say there's like a lacking support system. You could say, you know, not the right plan. Like there's a lot of things, but I think that's where it's like if you just boil everything down, it always comes back to a belief system.
Yeah, I like the one you said, a lack of the planning. So a lot of people do things out of, like this comes back to alignment. They're doing things because it's what they're told to do, or it's like they have to do that to achieve this certain goal or result. But you don't have to do it that way. You can exercise, you can eat a certain way to your own liking that is sustainable for life. And when you can achieve and find that plan or strategy, that's where you can maintain it, and it becomes enjoyable. When you're doing things that are restricted, like of course to reach a certain goal you have to restrict in a certain way,
or make changes.
You don't have to, but it's your perception. Like if you want to get a bit leaner, you might have to decrease your calories, or you could look at it a different way. Well, I get to exercise a little bit more, move my body and create a deficit a different way.
Yeah, and I think this is like in terms of perspective, because, you know, I do think it is as simple as like calories in, calories out, but then there is so much more to it. And what you're saying here is like, yeah, you're going to have to change your eating habits or change your exercise habits if you want to change how you look. But also like when you change your perspective around what you're doing, it's going to help you to actually make those changes with a high vibration, high frequency, like a loving energy, so that it feels really easy.
But just doing something that you really are passionate and love. Like most people think to lose weight now they have to run or they have to go to the gym. You don't have to do those things. There's so many other things you can do. You can just go out there, play with your kids, play with your son, your daughter. You can go play football, play soccer, play tennis. You can do so many other things. It doesn't just have to be in the gym and lift every day.
Yeah.
Be versatile and try everything and find what you enjoy to do. And then when you're in that frequency and in love and in abundance and joy, the weight comes off and the results come.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what comes to my mind as you're saying all this as well, is that there is this mentality of it has to be hard, right? We have this societal belief that if it's not hard, it's not working. If it's not hard, you won't get results. You've got to sacrifice. It's got to be difficult, be the hardest worker in the room. So I think instantly, and this is a funny way of looking at things, but it's a really good point, is how many of you, like when someone says to do something, you're like, fuck you, I don't want to do it, right? And what I mean by that is like we have this like rebellious version to ourselves. And I think there's like this whole talk about
we all have it.
Yeah, there's this talk about archetypes, and I'm not well versed in this, but like my coach and she speaks about how we have all these different archetypes, and there's X amount of archetypes, and one of them is like the rebellious person. It's that person who wants to rebel and, you know, take a stand in life. So it's almost like when someone says you have to do something that you're like, fuck you, not doing it. And I noticed this with a lot of women that I work with. I mean, I don't work with men, like this is the first time I'm like being brought into a man's space, which I love, thank you guys. But I've always worked with women up until now, and I noticed it a lot with women that they don't want to do the thing that they're told they have to do. Like there's this rebellious streak that comes in. So I think it's really important to take a new lens to what you're doing, and rather than making it restrictive, because that would make you rebel, because you're like, fuck you, I don't want to do that, take a new lens to what it is that you're doing. So in terms of like focusing on if it's restrictive, focusing on how, yes, you could be, for example, cutting back carbohydrates if that's the macro that you want to cut back, for example. Instead of focusing on, I'm eating less food, you can focus on, I'm achieving my goals and I have an abundance of vegetables, or, I'm so grateful for this meal. So you can really change your perspective, and that's also going to help as well. I do really think it's funny, but I do think a lot of people sabotage themselves because this rebellious archetype comes out, which goes, if I have to do something, then fuck you, I don't want to do it. But when you're able to like trick your mind into like, hey, you can do what you want to do. Like you can have like whatever way you want to do it, which is what you were saying. It's like you can go for a walk with the kids, or you can go walk on the treadmill. But if someone's like, you have to walk on the treadmill, part of you's like, fuck you, you're not doing anything. I'm gonna sit on the couch. But if someone goes, hey, you know what? Take a moment to think about what you want to do, what excites you. Do you want to go for a walk with the kids? Do you want to go with the dogs? Do you want to go on the treadmill? Do you want to run? Do you want to ride a bike? Do you want to roller skate? And you take a moment to decide what you want to do for you. You quiet that rebellious version of you, and it's like you're making that choice for you. And I think that's a massive thing for consistency, is like actually taking the time to nurture yourself into the decision rather than forcing yourself into something because someone says it's gotta work. Like if you're noticing that you're back and forth, then I would think about, are you actually asking yourself what you want to do, or are you just doing what you have to do? Because you could be fucking yourself over by doing it like that, through that archetype.
100%. And that's why I believe as well, a coach or a mentor is so important. And you got to find the right one that suits you, because how we used to coach, we used to come from a disempowering type of coaching.
Absolutely.
Like you have to do this. You got to fucking walk on the stairs for an hour. You have to fucking eat this restricted diet. But now the way you and I like to coach is from empowerment. Okay, you want to get a bit leaner, let's cut some calories, or let's increase your output. What would you prefer? And we let the client decide what they would like, because in that becomes sustainable for them, but it's also something that they will enjoy long term.
Well, when you're asking, like we think about this from an energetic point of view as well, right? Like we've spoken about it in nearly every success secret. Like, are we in a high energetic state or a low energetic state? When someone's telling you what to do and they're disempowering you, saying you have to do this. And I think whether it's like you have to or like do this, whether it's coming from a loving state or not from the coach, I think if the client isn't put into a position of empowerment and choice, it can feel disempowering, right? Because like we're not letting you lead, and at the end of the day, you know your body best. Like we have the experience, we have the knowledge, but you know your body better than we will ever know your body. So I think it's really important to always communicate and like almost like consult back and forth with the client.
That's
about
how a coach should be.
What do you want to do? And educate. So this is what I'm saying. Like there's two things. I always empower and I always educate. So it's about going, there's option A, option B. This one does this one does that, this one isn't so good for this, and this one isn't so good for that. What do you want to do? What feels good for you? What excites you? What is going to make you excited to do it, right? Like what's going to be really great for you? And letting that client lead and almost coaching the client to be their own coach, right? And like this is coming back to what I was saying before. This takes away the archetype of like the fuck you, in terms of like I'm being forced to do something. If you are the kind of person who doesn't like force. There's some people who fucking love that shit, and that's like, you're not my kind of client because I ain't gonna force you to do jack shit. But like some people do thrive off of that, and I was someone who used to thrive off of that. I used to thrive off someone telling me what to do, and I thought I was the hardest worker in the room. My ego loved it. But it's, if you get to that point where you realize that actually like, I don't like that anymore. I want to be empowered. I want to be educated. Like this is where you get to actually work with the version of you that's done being told what to do, really.
Yeah, 100%. I believe once you experience both sides, because we've both been there now, then you realize, well, I'd rather have my own choice and be empowered, where coming from a place of lack and fear, we'd always want to be told what to do. So we'd be like, I want to be the hardest worker. Like, I want to structure, I want to plan. And you do have to have that in certain aspects. If you want to be the elite athlete or you want to be at the top of your game,
or you prefer it.
Yeah, or you prefer it.
Some people prefer that, and I think, when it comes, I think this mentality, right, and it's always coming back to empowerment and mindset, like we saw at the start of this whole success secret, right? Like, I think until you wake up and realize that you are the creator of your life and that you love yourself, you're worthy, you really see yourself in a higher concept, you decide that you actually want to take ownership of your life, right? I think up until then, you have this mentality, or you may have this mentality of like, the coach knows better than me. I'm going to hire this guru. I'm going to hire this person who has the perfect plan to help me. And it's actually coming from this lack mentality of like, I don't know my body. I don't know what's best for me. Someone else knows better than me. I'm going to follow what they say. It comes back to this like people-pleasing archetype as well, where it's like someone outside of me knows better than me. Yeah. I think also, I don't know if I want to say this, but I'm going to say it. You know, like there's a lot of men coaches and a lot of women go to men coaches. And I think there's also that little bit of like, the man knows better than me. That's also a societal belief. Like I grew up with that, where it's like, listen to your dad knows the best. The dad is, you know, the man of the house, which God bless, love him. And I do think that, you know, genders have roles and all those kinds of things. I am like, you know, I do believe in that. But I also was brought up with like, the man knows best. And I think then a lot of women can gravitate to men coaches who are like, you know, anyway, like, don't need to go there. But the point to what I'm saying is like, there is these like deep underlying beliefs of like, I don't know what's best for me. Someone else does. I'm going to hire them. They're going to tell me what to do and they're going to save me and fix me. When the reality is, no, actually, you know what's best. Yes, we have knowledge. We've been doing this for a decade. We're coaches, but you are the coach of your own body. You are the ruler of your own body. You know your body best. Like, it's almost like to me, like I should not be telling you what to do with your body because I'm actually not in your body. I don't know how you feel, right? I can like ask you the correct questions, and like that's a lot of what I do is like questions, so I can know your body best and eventually get data and eventually understand.
And what we do as coaches and mentors is just get feedback from your clients and then empower them to make their own decisions, which you know what they should be choosing. And then when you can empower them to make the choice best for them, they can maintain that for whatever.
Because it feeds into this high self-concept, right? Like when we're empowering you to know what's best for you, it feeds into this high self-concept. It feeds into this, I know my body best. It feeds into this sustainable, energetic state of you actually getting the most out of your body and your results, you know? And it feeds into this, like, it's also, you know what it feeds into? You know, at the start I was saying, you know, we can be like, who am I to be the fit person? Like fear of success, fear of outshining others. When I coach someone, I want you to outshine, like I want you to get comfortable outshining others. I want you to get comfortable 100%. Like being the leader. I want you to get comfortable being the coach of your own body. So like if I'm coaching you and telling you what to do, I'm never allowing you to step up into your fullest version of like you taking control of your life and yourself. So I also see that in like, most clients probably wouldn't see that, but you know, I'm sharing this with you guys. It's like a big part of what I do, and why it's important is that as I'm getting you to coach yourself, you're practicing outshining others. You're practicing your success. You're practicing being the best. You're practicing owning that you fucking know what you're doing. And you know, you can do mindset around that, but you also need to action that archetype, and part of coaching can also like help that happen.
100%. And it's just so much more fulfilling when you can help a client achieve that type of status where they can make their own decisions, they feel comfortable in their own skin, and they're making their own decisions. Where before, clients were relying on us just to make a choice of what to eat and to change their diet or their training. Like, yes, we can help with that, and that's what we want to do because we might specialize in that field. But you should be able to make a choice on your own as well.
And that's important to share that dynamic, right? Like, I think there's like a time and place for someone else to take the lead. And I think like as you know, like in business, for example, like you're not going to be good at everything, right? So there are people who go, you know what, like I want to be educated, I want to be empowered, I want to know why my coach is making my choices. But then you get to a point where you go like, I'm a busy mom, I'm a business owner, like I want someone to like kind of make those choices for me, but you're already empowered, you're already educated. Like there's a time and place for you to let someone else take the reins. But if someone else is taking the reins because you don't think you're good enough and you don't think you know the answers and you don't think you know what's best, that's going to feed into low self-worth, that's going to feed into self-sabotage, it's going to feed into like so much lack energy, lack of motivation, consistency. So there's a time and place to have a coach just tell you what to do, but there's also a time and place where you need to understand that you need to be educated and empowered, because that's going to feed into the future you who maybe does want to give the reins over to a coach, just kind of like tell you what to do.
Yep.
So I think like, whilst we just spoke a lot about coaching, love that, it really is coming consistently. I can see this consistent theme of like, what's the real reason people sabotage their fitness goals and fitness results is it's a lack of confidence and a lack of empowerment, and it's a lack, like, it's just a lack within.
Judgment.
Yeah, and like we were saying, like bringing it back to the start, right? Like a fear of judgment, a fear of outshining others. Like it's just a fear of you just owning the best version of you, because there's this fear of like, what if I am the best version of me? What if I get the results? Then what happens? So it's really important to do the mindset work around what it would be like if you had the success, and to really step into visualization, really step into affirmation, self-concept work, and really get comfortable with being the most successful you, get comfortable with being the fittest you, get comfortable with being the coach of your own life, get comfortable with being confident in making decisions around your body, because until it feels natural to you, until it feels normal to you, you'll always push it away, right? You're allowed to be hot, you're allowed to be fucking sexy, you're allowed to be the hottest bitch, hottest guy in the room. You're allowed to be someone that like snaps heads and like commands a room. Like you are allowed to be that. And I don't know if anyone's ever told you that, but you are allowed to be that. And if you are that, you are still a good person. You are still an amazing person. You have a kind heart. La, 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 la. These are all subconscious beliefs that could be holding you back around like, if I was this person, what would people think of me, right? Like you can have it all. You can be fit, you can be healthy, and you're not going to outshine others, right? Like,
if people think that you're going to outshine others, that's their own insecurities. So just keep that in mind and always do what's best for you and progress. And the people that are really there for you and love you and support you will be by your side.
You know, I heard this amazing quote this morning, and I hope I get this right. It was like, you know, if you offend someone else or you trigger someone else, it's their journey, not yours. So if you are, you know, outshining others and people are judging you, let them judge you. Let them talk about you like you're too good for them. Let them talk about you like, who does he think she is or she is? Let them. That's their journey, not yours. That is not an opportunity for you to drop your self-worth and meet their chaos, become their chaos, and then manifest a reality where you lose your results, right? Like that's an opportunity for you to stay in your high self-worth. That's their journey, not yours. If they want to make you feel bad, they can only make you feel bad if you let them. But if they want to like project, let them. It's their journey, not yours. And I was like, man, that's a good quote. Like, it's their journey. Like, if they're gonna get offended by you and your success and your health and your happiness, let them. It's their journey. It's not yours to do anything about.
They're
Keep
not
doing
your people.
you.
Yeah,
Keep shining.
100%.
Keep outshining them. Like whatever. I think I'm gonna finish off like my part anyway, because I feel like I've just like said so much. Is there was a quote, like an affirmation that I really locked into when I was working through this myself, which was I used to get scared that I was going to
outshine.
Yeah, outshine others. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. But anyway, I locked into the quote that my success will inspire others. That was something that that was something I locked into, like an affirmation, a self-concept. Like I would say, I am successful, I'm fit, I'm healthy, and my success and, you know, my fit body, my fit lifestyle is gonna inspire others. And I started to say that to myself because I was really worried that I was gonna make other people feel bad, because I was brought up with like things in my childhood where me being who I was gonna make other people feel bad. So that was something that was holding me back. So I locked into the self-concept and the belief system that my success inspires others to also like rise into their highest self as well. And I just locked into that. And ever since I locked into that, my success does inspire others. And I live out a really like beautiful reality where people don't get offended by me, or if they do, I don't see it. They're not messaging me anyway, so it's so fine. So just know that you're the creator of your reality, and it's important for you to, you know, rewire your mind and lock into new beliefs that actually will manifest the kind of reality that you want. So yeah, that's my piece for this.
I love that.
Thank you.
My little quote for you guys is do what you love and love what you do, and you'll be able to sustain and maintain your fitness goal.
Yeah.
Your success, your business, whatever you decide to do for life. Because when you love what you do and you're so passionate and have the purpose towards what you want to create, life is just so easy and abundant, and it's so effortless. And I've experienced that now, and I'm so grateful and blessed that I've experience that journey. So I
Yeah.
hope you guys do too.
Yeah, just to quickly actually add to that before we do finish up is, the question is what's the real reason people sabotage their fitness results and their fitness goals? And I want to just like really empower you here by saying to you that if you are sabotaging or you're not getting your results and you're not getting your goals, you're not seeing the results that you want, you are sabotaging yourself. And I think that's the most empowering thing I could ever say to you, because if you recognize that you are the problem, then you can be the solution, right? Like, do the mindset work, hire the coach, do the journaling, do the inner work to ask yourself, like, what am I doing? Why am I sabotaging? Like, is there a fear of success? Is there a fear of outshining others? Read the book, ask the questions, like do the fucking work, right? How many times are you gonna go in circles of not getting what you want before you realize that you are the problem? Like you are sabotaging, and it's not in terms of like what you're capable of doing, in terms of what you need to do. It's what you need to believe and what you need to see differently within yourself. So do the inner work to stop sabotaging yourself by recognizing like what could be these things that are blocking me, and start to be curious, compassionate, and loving to yourself. Like, it's all good, but the best thing you can do is realize that nothing outside of you is going to fix you or give you the results. You have to do the work to overcome these deep beliefs that are holding you back and causing subconscious negative actions that are sabotaging yourself. And until you work on what causes sabotation, wow, I don't even think this word.
Something that sabotages you.
Yeah, until you work on why you're sabotaging yourself, you're never going to overcome it. I don't care how many things you buy or how many coaches you do.
Podcasts
it's not going to
you listen to.
happen until you start actually pondering the deep shit, okay? So it's a call to action here that if you are sabotaging, you are. And you need to work on why you're doing it, and let it be a fun journey. Like, get curious, hypothesize, be a little scientist, and just start to ask deeper questions, right? Like, you'll get to the bottom of it, you'll figure it out, and in a few months' time, you'll look back thinking, thank fucking God, I started questioning and going deeper into my psyche. Love you.
On that note though, guys, as well, with coaches and hiring a coach or a mentor, I'm seeing so much out there these days that people hiring coaches or mentors, but they're not in alignment with what they want to try to achieve. Like, really think about that and do your research when you're hiring a coach. Hire a coach that empowers you to do better, not just in one aspect, but in every aspect of life. Be rich in all areas, and find a coach that practices what he preaches. A lot of coaches are doing certain things and they're obviously not practicing what they're preaching. So find someone that empowers you to do better, but also does what they're telling you to do as well.
Yeah, just it's always important to, find someone you're in alignment with. Like, you guys are here, you're developing with us, and, we're talking about like one-on-one, like whether it is someone you coach with us or it's someone else that resonates with you, just make sure that they're living the life that you want to live, and that their values are in alignment with you. Like, really, really think about it. You bring up a really good point. At the end of the day, we love you guys and we're here to support you for as long as you need. But if you ever resonate with someone else, like, go for it, right? Like, it's important that you resonate with who you resonate, because we're all individual people. So yeah, take your time when it comes to like coaching, when it comes to, developing. It's a really important investment. So yeah, good point.
But we're here to help you guys. We can help you achieve anything you want. I have so much conviction we're there, we're the right coaches for you, and we can be there to guide you through your journey. Big love, guys.
Bye.